Hi, so I need to do a very specific reading for a certain group of twin flames. And I say that it's a need because these energies and messages surrounding this particular group in the twin flame collective have been really inundating me. They've just been coming up so strongly, and I feel it's really important, if this reading is for you, if you're part of this group, for me to come on and perhaps shed a little bit of light or insight on some of what I've been picking up on in this portion of the twin flame collective. I do want to preface this video by saying that, first of all, this will be one of kind of like a series. I've been doing a lot more mini readings lately, and as a result of that, there will be more twin flame specific readings amongst those mini readings as well, because doing more readings allows me to really split hairs in a sense and pick up on some very, very specific threads of energy. But I also want to say that this particular reading will not necessarily align with everyone who is a twin flame. In fact, it's for a very specific group of twin flames. So if you come across this video and you're a twin flame, but these messages don't feel right for you or aligned, then this reading is most likely not for you. But do keep in mind, I will be channeling many more in this so-called series. So there is so much more to come. And the first thing I want to say about this particular twin flame collective, and I feel like I have to turn on my lamp here. It's getting a little bit dark. It gets so dark so early where I live these days. But anyway, the place I want to start is that the collective I'm speaking to here is on a very, very unique twin flame journey that doesn't follow the traditional mold. So for the collective that I'm speaking to here, you and your twin flame seem to be living very separate lives in this physical world. Now, for some of you, you may be in constant contact with this person. You may spend a lot of time with them physically. You may communicate very frequently in the physical. For others of you, there may be little to virtually no or none at all when it comes to communication in the physical. And this could be a purely energetic kind of connection where I'm hearing you in either case, whether you have a lot of communication or not physically, you came into the knowledge a while ago, probably several years ago, at least, if not decades, that this person is your twin flame. And it's been a roller coaster for you since then, because there was a time with this person where you believed that you desired a physical union with them in this physical world. And this is going to get very complex. This is why I'm saying that I'm channeling into a specific collective, because I always say that when it comes to twin flame connection, I could speak for days about this connection. I'm very passionate about the twin flame journey because it is one of the most powerful vehicles to spiritual awakening and also to learning unconditional self-love, which really becomes just a frequency of unconditional love in our beings that we then radiate outwards. And it's catalyzed by this other soul in a physical form often, although not always, but this other soul that literally mirrors back to us everything at all levels and layers through all of our chakra centers. It's an experience that is beautiful and at times triggering and at times heartbreaking and heart-opening, and yet ultimately it teaches us so much about ourselves. And for the collective that I'm speaking to here, I feel that a realization of this person, of this soul being your twin flame, actually catalyzed your spiritual awakening and your self-love journey a while ago. And during the period of time where you first discovered that this person is your twin flame, you most likely strongly desired a physical union with them. And there is nothing wrong with that. As I always say, you are the creator of your life. And if you desire a physical, traditional looking union with your twin flame in this physical world. That is your prerogative. That is up to you. And I believe that if you have a vision for something that you desire, that there is a timeline where that exists. But I'm speaking to a specific collective where something has altered in this journey and within this connection for you. And what I'm getting is that in the physical realm, there was a very, very turbulent, challenging time with this twin flame counterpart, whether it was because you were with them physically and in their physical form, they were rejecting the connection, or they did not seem to desire the connection and it left you feeling rejected. For others of you, maybe it was just non-existent communication or interaction or like a lack of that. And I feel that something powerful happened. So what the guides are coming in with is when you desired a physical union with this person that looked very traditional, that was actually the timeline that you were aligned with at the time. And actually, it seems that that was the initial core intention of you and your twin flame, meaning when you were about to incarnate on earth, I feel that your soul and your twin flame's soul decided that you were going to be in a traditional physical union with one another. Now, of course, there are so many layers to talk about here, and we're not going to get into all of them. Of course, if you have anything else you'd like to hear from or on in future videos, because I am doing a lot of mini readings, let me know in the comments. Also, be sure to subscribe and hit the notifications bell so you get notified when I post all of those new videos that are coming. I would love to have you here subscribed on the channel. But what I'm getting is that some kind of a split occurred. There is a lot we need to talk about here, so I'm trying not to get ahead of myself, but let's start with when you and your twin flame made that original intention. So what I'm getting is that you decided together, okay, we're going to meet, we're going to activate each other, we're going to spiritually awaken one another so that we remember who we truly are, and then we are going to merge together in a full-blown physical union. And you both knew that, and you both decided that prior to incarnating here. And so that's what the journey looked like in the beginning, because those were the initial intentions. And that is why you had the desire to have that with this person, because that was your soul's original blueprint for this life. That was the original plan. However, whenever we create a blueprint or a plan prior to incarnating as a soul, of course, it's not in concrete. It's not something that is necessarily a 100%. These things have to happen, because part of the human experience is having free will, being able to create our lives and our experiences as we go. So we could think of our original intentions, that blueprint, so to speak, as guideposts more than anything else. And we can redecide at any time in this life if we desire something different. And that is our right and our power as conscious creators in our lives. There's no like pre-fated destiny. There are these guideposts and signposts and certain potential pathways for us available to us. But nothing necessarily needs to be set in stone. And we can redefine terms. That's going to be important, by the way, redefining terms, because I feel that for this group of twin flames, the contract between you was redefined in essence in this lifetime because of certain free will choices and events that occurred. And so we're going to get into that. But essentially what I'm getting is things were seemingly on track prior to meeting this person. There were dreams or visions about each other. There was a lot of synchronicity that seemed to somehow bring you together, or to bring you this like consciousness that this person was meant to be important to you. There was some kind of moment of conscious recognition or meeting, and things seemed to be progressing. But what I'm getting about your counterpart twin flame soul, and you as well, you both took on very dense, very heavy karmic patterning to clear that goes far beyond just your soul. Specifically, I'm getting something with like a family or a community where you both took on very heavy patterns, some of these patterns being ancient collective patterns that you chose because you both are very ancient souls. You both are very strong souls who have lived many, many, many lifetimes. So you both chose to take on these patterns in order to clear them, not just for yourself, but it was part of your soul mission and purpose to clear them for the collective. Now, the thing is, what I'm hearing about this person, your so-called counterpart soul in this instance, is that this patterning became very, very, very heavy for them. And it actually created a rift within them. It created a lot of wounding. And so when this person began to close off or to go cold on you or to reject you or reject the connection, what was actually happening is they were responding to that rift within themselves as a result of the patterning that they picked up on. It's almost like it was becoming too heavy for them or too much for them. And under that burden, under that weight, they were beginning to disconnect from their true self. And I'm getting that as a result of this, there were moments with this person, either seeing them or interacting with them, where you felt like you weren't even really talking to or interacting with them. Like they may have gotten so disconnected from their true self that there was like this deep grief within you because you knew and you know their soul, you know their heart, but they became so disconnected from that heartfelt, heart-open, soul-connected version of themselves in the physical that it's almost like you were having this deep, meaningful relationship with them in the 5D, but in the 3D, they were becoming a stranger. And that is because this person was so disconnected from their own soul, from their own higher self, that they were becoming almost unrecognizable to you physically. And again, it was because of the heaviness of like the trauma and the wounding that they were carrying in their human form. The complication that I'm getting for this specific group of twin flames is, in spite of all of that, in spite of the fact that their physical form was becoming almost like a stranger, you've had this deep, deep love for their soul. It's that unconditional love bond that twin flames share on a higher self level. And even more than that, there's been this unconditional love and support between your souls, meaning I feel that you are always connected energetically, spiritually in the heart space with this person. There is this deep, beautiful, meaningful connection that you both do feel on some level. And it's almost like you're already in this 5D union with this other soul. Like, what I'm getting is, the strange thing is, even though in their physical form, this person's been very wounded, I'm getting that they've been really deeply healing from a lot. And therefore, they've been at times rejecting you or pushing you away. I'm also hearing this may be the type of person who could be hot and cold in the physical, because at times you see their soul shining through that you feel so connected to. You see them really connecting with that authentic version of themselves. But then at other times, it will suddenly flip and they'll be totally closed off and exhibiting the behavior of that kind of like so-called stranger, that version of themselves that is disconnected from their own heart. And so I feel that as a result of this, you continued to do the healing work on your end, and you continued to stay connected to this twin flame energy, but most likely with certain boundaries in place in the physical or certain distance. I mean, for some of you, maybe you chose to walk away from this person physically, but you never, of course, disconnected from the energy, because we can't. That energy is always there. It's as our mere soul, something that we are feeling and connected with fifth dimensionally. But I'm hearing that in your own way and in your own time, you began to work with this energy in such a way that you actually continued to grow and expand and heal yourself internally by working with the fifth dimensional form of your twin flame without necessarily having a super continuous or traditional looking connection in the physical realm. So what you've essentially done is balanced your internal masculine and your internal feminine. You've come into an inner union that has created an an inner balance that then reflects in a union in the 5D with your twin flame, with your twin soul. And what you need to understand is that you doing this, you healing yourself in this way, has also held space for the physical form of your twin flame to do the same. But what I am getting is that the process for them has been very slow and very, very gradual. It's like one step forward, two steps back, or at least that's how it feels a lot of times. Whereas on your end, I'm hearing you've solidified this state of being in an inner union with yourself and in this union with the soul of your twin flame. And you're seeing them, or kind of aware at a distance that they are going through their own battles and their own struggles that you support them through energetically. But again, there is most likely a very non-traditional thing happening with the way that your connection plays out physically. So what I'm getting is that over the course of time, the terms of your connection have been redefined, and you found yourself, again, for this specific collective, this reading isn't for everyone, but you've actually found yourself desiring to open up and connect with other high-level forms of love, or maybe you have encountered certain high-level soulmates or beautiful romantic connections or experiences. And maybe even to your own surprise, you found yourself actually desiring to lean into that, or to explore one of those or some of those connections who have been entering your life. Or maybe you've already chosen to do that. And yet I feel that it's very strange for you, because in the past you had no desire to even entertain or explore any other connection besides your twin flame. And what I'm getting here is, just like when you desired a physical union with your twin flame at the time, that spoke to the fact that that was in your soul's intentions at that moment, that that was the blueprint. The fact that you now have a desire to open your heart to other forms of love romantically that are very aligned with your soul, that feel deeply supportive and grounded and mutual. The fact that you're feeling that desire equally speaks to the fact that that is now a pathway that is very in alignment with your soul, that is opening up to you, that is available for you. And what I'm getting is, you now seem to have these choices and options because of what your twin flame has been going through regarding their own wounding, their own healing process, their own choices that they've made in the 3D. I'm getting that you now have many different pathways opening up to you, and I'm hearing to release the guilt, to let go of the feeling of lingering guilt that you may have because your options are opening up. Because what I'm getting is that for some of you, there may be this slight feeling of guilt, like, should I still feel exclusively committed to this person who isn't showing up for me in the physical simply because I know that they are my twin flame? And what I'm seeing is the terms of that twin flame connection have been redefined for you, because you are in a union energetically with this person. And the way that you balance yourself and maintain that balance internally is actually helping them from a 5D level through what they're going through. But that doesn't limit you from being able to experience and open yourself to loves that feel good to you, that feel mutual, that feel supportive for you. And I do feel that lately, or very soon, depending on where you are on the timeline, the universe has been or will be sending you very high level soulmate options if that is something that you are interested in exploring. Now, of course, I did say you have many different pathways opening up here. And I'm hearing it is entirely up to you, because there is a pathway where if you do still desire to somehow solidify a more traditional looking union in the physical with your twin flame, that pathway is still available to you. It's just that your twin flame seems to be going through a very long process of healing. I do see that even now and moving into the future, they are likely to feel a lot of regret for the way that they've treated you in the past, and a strong desire for a connection with you. But of course, it's up to you to choose what feels supportive and nourishing for you, to choose what feels aligned for you. I do see, though, in addition to that, there are pathways opening up where you can choose to continue healing and growing on your own internally, focusing on like a more individualistic path. You can also choose to open your heart to solidify connections with a romantic soulmate who is very aligned with you, who carries a frequency that is very similar and also harmonious to your own, that supports you in your soul mission and path. And I'm hearing that your desires are leading the way. So if while I was speaking about any of those things, you felt something light up within you, you felt like it piqued your interest, you're like, wow, that's what I want, then that is very, very powerful, because that is a sign that that desire for that particular path or timeline is trying to tell you something. And you are being guided to allow yourself to have what you desire, to lean into what you desire, because your desires are sacred. They speak to your personal highest vibrational timeline in this life. So I know that this is only the beginning, really just scratching the surface of so much we could talk about regarding different waves and different collectives and groups of twin flames, divine counterparts, soulmate connections. But I really hope that this specific reading reached whoever needed to hear it. If this did connect for you, I would really recommend my Love Magnetism Subliminal. This one is so powerful for really charging your energy to attract in your highest forms of love in this life, whether it is your twin flame or whether it's a high level soulmate or focusing on self-love, whatever it is for you, this subliminal will help you to align with that frequency of love and see that reflected back to you in the forms of the people who enter your life to adore you and support you. So this subliminal comes from my app, Sound and Soulful. I am so passionate about this app because I've been using subliminals for years to change my own life and manifest so many things in my life. So I'm so excited to be sharing my library of subliminals with all of you as well. In the app, I have over 130 of them for love, relationships, appearance, energy clearing, business, money, and so many other things. And when you sign up in the app, you get access to every subliminal I've created in 10 different background sound options. You can also create your own custom private playlist and read the affirmations while you are listening. So this is such a powerful tool that can really help you to align with your desires and manifest in your life. And if you'd like to try it for yourself, I will leave a link to it in the pinned comment and description box below. Otherwise, I am sending you all so much love. Have an amazing day, and I will connect with you here again in the next